I spy with my little eye some 3D models made with Hitem3D. I had a ton of fun making this video, sponsored by Hitem3D, which is image to 3D model, which is crazy good detail. I mean, it is so, it's really cool. I was kind of blown away with how well, one, it does like with toys and things, but level of detail and things like that. But as well as like how much it fills in the gaps. Like I tested it with translucent things. Like if you spy this little jar of gummy bears, I just gave it a jar of gummy bears, and it created this jar that looks like it's full of gummy bears, and even put some gummy bears out on the side. Like it's just, I mean, that's what the image had it, but like it made it. And I was like, there's no way it's going to be able to handle transparency stuff and everything. And obviously it's like kind of like an image kind of wrapped in glass somewhat. But as far as like making things for background objects and stuff for games or scenes or whatever, it's kind of awesome. But I thought, you know, my kids love I Spy books or like my hidden picture books, you know, where you have like, oh, I see 3 these, 3 that. And I thought this would be a great idea to showcase creating models. And one thing I didn't understand was how many items are in those pages. Oh my goodness, it's so many. But I was able to create a lot of these, almost all of these, with the subscription. I think I spent $20 to get a few more extras. I'll show you everything I made. But I was kind of blown away with just how little work I had to do. Not just like when it came to like streamlining this into C4D, but just like I gave it an image and I only had, you get like 3 free retries for every image, and I only had to retry like 2 times because everything just kind of worked. And I was kind of pleasantly surprised with how well it did with like these soft plushy toy looking things. Like it was kind of wild. The Nerf gun, like the plastic is so good. Like, and then this toy looks phenomenal. And you can come in to, I'll show you in C4D and tweak the materials a little bit to make them a little more on your own. But you can see like the level of detail and things. So if you want to play along, I'll have this available to download for free to all patrons, free memberships and whatever. And I'll have a little list of things that I want you to find. So play with your kids, or while you're on the toilet watching on your phone. Who knows? I don't know when you watch these tutorials, but just download it, have fun. It's kind of a fun little project to make. And what I've noticed a lot with it, if we take a look at the Hitem3D website real quick. So we take a look at the Hitem collection here. This is all the things that I made very quickly from images. Magnet tiles I thought would be like, there's no way it's going to know how to do magnet tiles because they're like weird, transparent with all these crazy shapes, but it actually came out okay. Surprisingly, the Duplo block set was fantastic. Optimus Prime, like toys and things. The dinosaurs, stuff like that, it filled in the gaps. Like I gave it a picture of Leonardo, right? And it, like that was the image right there. This little tiny, just front image of Leonardo the toy. And of course it, you know, puts a shell on his back and stuff. Like obviously the shell is a little not correct, but you know, I didn't want it for that instance. I needed it to be from this image. If you want to do multiple images, you totally can, but it captured the essence of it all. It even gets like the little details on the handle and stuff, which is kind of what I was really impressed with, was like the level of detail and all this stuff. And this is like, it looks okay. What I've noticed is it looks pretty good in their like viewport here, but actually when you take this out of here as an FBX or GLB, whatever, if you take it out of here and put it into something like C4D or something where you have like good photorealistic lighting with redshift, it actually looks even better. So keep that in mind as well. But we can take a look at some of these models that are just from a picture. This was a picture of a T-Rex. There's no like text prompt or anything. You just say, you say upload picture, and it makes it. And so it just figures out what you want it to be about, and it does a phenomenal job of that. And you can see that that is frighteningly accurate how good that is. There's a few little things, but they could be cleaned up slightly. Like maybe you could do a retry to get kind of this like ripple effect here, kind of maybe, I think it's an eye kind of, I think. So you could kind of try that again, but so good. Like the underbelly is good, the back is good, back side, which you don't even see, is good. It understands the symmetry, it understands the tongue, everything. Like it's great. It's phenomenal. And then we'll do another one. I'll try to do me. My portrait didn't come out too good. It's probably a bad picture, but there are some that are good portraits. We'll take a look at those. But here's the Nerf gun. And we'll look at these in C4D. I want to look at them. I want you to see them kind of in the viewport online. This was the image, right? And look at that. That's pretty awesome. But even like put the barrels in and stuff, it has this little chip, because it does have a little chip out of it actually in the picture. So I get that. But you can see like the words and stuff, Commander, it didn't quite grab. So that's maybe something that I need to look into. You could probably try a free retry. But the main thing is all of this stuff is really not for what I normally do, which is like, 3D renders and stuff. What I would say a lot of this is for printing. And what I've noticed, if you look at the homepage, we have all these cool characters and toys and stuff. Like I say toys, but we got these really detailed statues and characters and all kinds of things, like this guy, which I put in my scene, and we'll take a look at him because he looks phenomenal in C4D. But basically, I'm like, oh, this is perfect, because what these offer, like, this is your picture. So basically, you create your D&D character or whatever tabletop game you're playing, or if you just want stuff for your desk or your shelves, and you have a 3D printer, this is phenomenal. Like the level, like, these aren't like other 3D things that seem to rely more on like normal maps and displacement maps and stuff like that to kind of give you, the illusion of detail with the model. Whereas this is like, it's hard surface model cooked in. Like if you print it, it's going to look like that. Like it's going to have those ridges and edges. It's going to have this level of detail, which is very, very cool. And you can segment it, stuff like that, I do believe. But you can see you have just like really good levels of detail kind of baked in and stuff like that. This one was my favorite. I typed in Lego Stego into, I think, Gemini, I think I used. And so I created this weird AI Lego Stegosaurus, which I then gave it to this, and voila, 3D model of a Lego Stegosaurus, just like that. And so I can segment it and print that out, and different kinds of printer applications or whatever, and slice it up and build it back together and have it on my desk in real life, which is just wild. What we can do today. But it really makes me want a 3D printer. That's what I've said. And I told the devs, I was like, or the people that reached out to me about making this video, I was like, this really makes me want a 3D printer. It's very, very cool. So let's take a look at it inside of here and just kind of literally how easy it is to do. Okay, here we are inside of C4D, and you can see this is our scene with everything populated in here. If we take a look at this, the shading on these things are very, very dense. They're made to be 3D printed. They're not optimized for games and stuff. These are optimized for detail. So they're very dense. And, we're not getting any issues or anything with the render or anything, because C4D can handle that now, which is phenomenal. So it's not really any issue. There's no lag or anything really with this scene. It renders out just fine. I think this, obviously the balloon with the spoiler, there's a cat inside the balloon. The robot cat is in the balloon. If you didn't notice, but yeah, there's this is probably the slowest part of the render, honestly, or my gold jellyfish, my glowy jellyfish. But yeah, so the cool thing is the only things that I modeled in this entire scene are when I grabbed the balloon from the asset browser, and then these blocks here are just basic shapes that I put a wood texture on. All these blocks, these are all 3D assets. I wanted a 3D block tower. It's AI, and I think I just grabbed it off of Google, just a picture of that, and slapped it on there, and then just see what I could create. Xylophone, just kind of thinking of what kids' toys things have, but look how good this little elephant looks. It was just a picture of an elephant plushie. I made that little plushie whale. That one I made on Korea, I think. I wanted a cute uwu whale. It's all right. The controller. Obviously, the Nerf gun, this dragon, Leo. I feel like I'm spoiling it if you know where they all are, but you can just get some ideas of things. I even slid in a Space Marine back there, which I was impressed with, because I showed like the front of the Space Marine, and I was like, it's not going to get the back of it right, but it actually did. They put the back, like the jetpack back on the back, and like, I don't know if it's canonical with that character. Like I like Warhammer, but I'm not that into it. I like the games, the video games. But yeah, so we could take a look. But you can see like the way these came in is basically, I mean, when you download them out of here. You go to your scene here, you grab the one you want, like we'll do Leo here. I don't know that I need to show you how to create. You come in here, it's literally right here. You've got image to 3D, and you've got multi-view. And so you can do multiple views or the one image. You literally upload your picture there and you hit generate. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Then you get what I'm showing you here, which is this, and which is pretty awesome, right? That's from the image of this. Pretty good, right? And it's pretty good. Kind of wild. It's even got like little dots and things to try to do that. We could retexture it, maybe see if we get a better result, but we got another one. But basically you get the option of doing all these. I just downloaded the JLB and just hit that. We can print straight from here, which is nice. We can segment it as well. I didn't mess with that because I don't have a printer, so there's no real need for me to do that. But I just would hit download. It would download the JLB file, which then once you're inside of here, you just shift click in there. And what I've noticed is everything comes in really small, and I just scale everything up inside the coordinates by 100, right? Or when you're shift clicking in there and it asks you, like what's the scale, don't be lazy like me and just tell it it's millimeters instead of centimeters, and that should fix your issue. But yeah, you might have to scale it up, which is totally fine. But it comes with one material on it, obviously. And we can take a look at some of these materials. Like, let's take a look at the T-Rex kind of isolated here on its own. You can see super, super dense. Doesn't really matter. Let's go into let's do a new camera because this one's kind of locked in. As you can see, like, even with the pixel density of this, if we take a look at this, that's crazy, crazy dense. But the UV map and everything's totally fine. Works great, no issues whatsoever, still fast, not a problem. Because, it's not a game or anything like that. It actually handles stuff in the viewport fine now. But yeah, so if we take a look at the way it brings in as a scene with the world and then just the actual object here. And inside of that is the material, and it just comes in. And if we want, you can double click this material. And you can see it comes in with kind of these basically arms maps with the color splitter set up. I just unplug some of the metalness ones and stuff. Sometimes the metalness, I'm like, if I know my object has no metal whatsoever, I don't need a map to tell it 0. I can just tell it 0. And the same with reflection and stuff. Sometimes I want it to be a little more organic. But what I ended up doing with some of these things is if I take the opacity map here and I go in here and I make a ramp, and I plug that into that, and then I plug that into the roughness, and I unplug the opacity here. That actually comes out kind of nice for some plasticky things, if we do want it to be plastic. And of course, now I have a full, control over the way this works. If we want to, make it, rougher, we can slide this down, and now it's going to be more matte, right? Or if we want it to be shinier, we can slide this up. Now we get more shine, but we still have kind of that nice difference between the two. Yeah, we can make it a little more matte here. And we can come in here to the IOR. And if we want that to be kind of 1.2-ish, it's a good plastic-ish. And we can also come in here and add like a coat on it. If you take the coat off, you'll get it it'd be very flat, right? But if you add a little coat on things, I think that's a really nice way to give it like this nice kind of painted look. We can make that rougher. Lower the IOR. These are what I would play with more than the actual settings of the things on there. So, I mean, this is just kind of how I build plastics and things to begin with. Is they kind of always are a plastic and then they put like a finish on it. Is kind of how it's made. So, but very cool. And you can see nothing like there's not even a normal map. That's just how detailed these are. They get these details because they're cooked in, which is phenomenal. I think I'm a big fan of just making things look good. I like high detailed models. Cool. So we can grab something else here if we want to isolate it. But yeah, we come here, the big scene. But yeah, so like the plushie. All right, we'll take a look at the elephant here. All I did for the elephant is the same thing. Opacity map went into the roughness. But then to make it look like an actual plushie, you just have to add a little film sheen to it. So sheen, which is like really good for fabric and stuff. Boom. Just a little bit of sheen on it, and now we're good. Like 0 roughness, 0 metalness. That's it. And it gives you this really nice, cool, soft look, like that looks soft. Like that looks like if I squished it, it would be soft. And all these level of detail things, these aren't from the texture. These are built into the model. So it's going to always react well with light. A wizard cat. I wanted to rig him. I just didn't get around to it. That's why I made him in the T-pose. But then there's a lot of things like toys and things. We'll take a look at this guy. Because let's make a new camera real quick. Look at him because he's cool looking. Let me swap this to this. But like, yeah, you can see like the level of detail on him. It's so cool. So you print out this guy, you know, put him on your desk. I don't know if he's a bad guy or if he's your barbarian or if he's an enemy. I don't know. But it's just cool. I don't know. I like this kind of stuff. I like using, like, I guess it's, you know, AI to do things that are just in like people's hobbies or enjoyment. Like, yeah, you know, because basically like the people that are going to use this and stuff, like, this is my take on it and whatever. But like, I'm not going to ever model out of like clay or whatever a character and paint it and stuff, but you know, I might go into AI and make an image of our guy or hire somebody to make an artist sketch of my character, and then I could take that character into here and print him out and have like, you know, a toy of him, or an action figure or whatever you call them. I don't know if I offended people by calling it an action figure or a toy. I don't. I didn't mean to. If I did, I'm just ignorant to that world. I think it's cool though. I really do. But yeah, you can just have it and then literally have it in your real world. Like the bridge between the digital realm and being able to hold it in your hand is there, and it's very easy and affordable and super, just crazy good. So good. Yeah, it was just super fun. Again, thank you to Hitem3D for, you know, allowing me to, you know, giving me the opportunity to create something and showcase this cool stuff. Because I think, like, man, you know, you build these little, you could just, it makes me want to have a tabletop and just like a 3D printer. Basically, I want to create little worlds and have the dioramas of these places that I've created, and it seems so easy to do. Like with Hitem, I feel like you can just literally just create your character and then boom, you can have it printed out on your desk within, I don't know how long it takes, hours, I don't know, but minutes when it comes to like sending it to the printer, being ready to go from image to send it to your printer. Minutes, like less than an hour, boom, you're good to go, which seems wild. Super cool. So again, look at the detail and all these, like, and it's like it handles, you know, I didn't have to tweak anything. Like it handles little tiny holes and gaps well. There's a lot of cool things on there, like their examples that are really cool. But obviously, I think it shines with action figures, models, characters, things like that. I think are probably like, look how good. Like that looks, I mean, tell me you bought that, I believe it, right? Like it's just somebody made that and printed it out. It's awesome. Cool. So yeah, I've seen people, you know, I saw people talking about it on Reddit and stuff, like making chess sets and things out of cool images and stuff, like that are themed to different IPs and stuff like that. And I think that's cool, man. I wish I had the time and patience for that myself. But yeah, it's very cool. Again, enjoy, have fun finding all the things, and let me know what you guys want to see next. And again, thank you to Hitem3D. Click the link below to sign up, save 50%. Real quick, let's just talk about some of the highlights, which basically is like the autofill for the hollow and occluded areas, which I was impressed with. That, like it knowing to put these things, like that's insane, and it can make that. It's crazy. And it's not like, again, it's not just a map using opacity and stuff. It's there. It's like if this was solid and printed, it's not a digital trick. It's really knows the geometry's there, and the level of detail these things create is wild. And so not just color copy, like I said, it's got metallic things, reflective, semi-reflective, plastics, things like that, edge, corner wear, stuff like that. All that, I think it was pretty obvious that it showed up. Smart D-lighting, which was like, obviously, if you take a picture of something that's like lit well, it will, try to make it flat. Like basically, if you want to create anything, you want it to be like a really nice flat, image, flat lighting, and everything's equal, so that when you can apply your own lighting afterwards, right? And then also there's a Blender plugin. But yeah, again, the things I was, most impressed with was its ability to, without me telling it anything, isolate out of whatever image it was. Like obviously, this one was my Duplo set that I created. It has like, a little wall back here and stuff in the room and a carpet and stuff. But then it was like, hey, actually, I just am going to make what I think you want me to make. And it did a really good job. Just like that. This is an AI image, I believe, that I created. So like just the possibilities are wild. Rubber ducky had like the rubber ducky I noticed gave me some issues. This is one thing I did see, was because my image had all these water droplets on it. And because it's so accurate, it put little droplets on it. I think it thought it was like Lego bits. But that was one thing I did notice. And obviously you could smooth those off or whatever. But yeah. Even reflective things, it didn't really seem to have an issue with. I tried to do myself from a really weird picture. Tried different IPs that I thought might be blocked or whatever, but they seem fine. Didn't have any issues with restriction. I didn't try to do anything like inappropriate or anything, obviously, but look at this though. Look, it put his backpack on and everything. I mean, sure, I don't know if it's called a backpack, but you know what I'm saying. Pretty cool. Pretty cool from this image. It's pretty crazy. The filler. Like the fact that it puts this stuff like behind their knees, like it knows like it's got a suit that's gonna bend. Like that to me is wild. That's so good. A corgi. I had to do a corgi for my girls. We used to have a corgi. Yep, this is the image, and it knew exactly what to do. And what was crazy is like these little fluffy bits. You can see these are there. These aren't fake. It gives it the illusion that it is in fact fluffy. Looks real good. Yeah. So, really impressed with the level of detail and all this stuff. And like, again, these aren't like high quality images. I'm not feeding it 4K pictures here that's getting all this detail from. These are like crummy 900p images and stuff. You can see this one was a funny one with the cat. I wanted to see how it did with like a clear helmet, because I wanted to test how that would work. And the first time it was like, I know you want a cat head, but it was kind of like, didn't really know. This is the image, by the way. So again, a little weird to begin with. Like, I don't even know what this is going on back here, but yarn planets, cute, right? Cosmo Kitty. Basically these 4K images, but you can see like that one didn't work. So I did a free retry and it did this. Which is kind of really an interesting one, because at first glance you're like, oh, that's perfect. But really, it's faking the reflection of a glass, which I think is pretty normal. But we do have the cat's head inside the helmet. What I would probably do is delete this little bit and just actually put a thin glass layer in there. But it gave me some of the planets and some of the swirl back here too. And but yeah, from the image, like this looks like a crazy optical illusion that this is inside of a helmet. Like it's hard not to see it until you turn it. It's kind of cool. I like that one. That's the one I went with. I tried it again just to see what it would give me, and the second time it filled up the whole helmet with the cat's head, which is pretty fun as an idea as well. I don't know why, but that one makes me really laugh. Huh? Yeah, the detail on these has been superb. Superb. And then like I'm feeding it junk and it's giving me results. I think is the big thing to take away here. Like if you have a really good picture of something with a lot of detail and it's good quality, you know, I think you're going to really be happy with your results. And I'm giving it the bare bones, lazy approach that's like, hey, make a cat wizard AI. And it's like, okay, here. And then boom, there he is. Pretty good. Minutes later. And now he's in here 3 times. Got to find him. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of wild. Also could do like a swing tilt kind of effect. Zoom out real far. Do like a 250. We can do a little tilt shift effect. Make it really focus on something very specific in there. And look at it from above, and we have all these little toys. But yeah, I mean, really cool. They can come in and get these kind of effects and looks and things and fill out a space super quickly and easily. And obviously, you know, let's say, for example, let's take our T-Rex, right? This is one thing I think is really cool. Like the colors and stuff, superb. But having this level of detail allows us to come in here, and if we want, you know, we can just take some concrete and slap that on there. Boom. And, you know, now, you know, we do some more dramatic lighting. Do like a 0.1 for this. We'll take our area lights, kind of spread it down, and lock this. Move our target null to our dinosaur here. And, you know, now we have these like really, really cool, detailed like statue shots of stuff. You know, we could come in here and do like a super tight depth of field shot of this. We'll do like an 85 lens. Come up here and do like optical bokeh 0.4, like real low bokeh. Maybe like 1.2. Yep. So now we have these really cool tight shots of just this nice detail on stuff. It's wild. So good. So yeah, so now I can come in here and remake the intro to Arcane with all these cool statue shots. Right. I've been rewatching that. It's so good. So yeah, just change this to like blue. Oh, the misery. Cool. Nice. So cool, right? You know, we can do glass or anything like that and get these kind of cool, crazy effects. Yeah, again, I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of Hitem3D. I think it's one of the better ones I've used when it comes to, you know, you give it an image and it makes it like look like that with the level of detail you want from it without faking it with maps and stuff. And that to me was impressive. So cool. Thanks again. Check it out. Links below. See you next time.